V'zehu Shamar Azal B'Yerushalmi Perekam D'Shkalim Halacha Vav, and this is what's brought in Yerushalmi in Shkalim Al Pasuk Kala over Al Pekudim on the verse. Anyone who goes over the counting. Man Da'avar Al Yamachul. What does it mean to go over the counting? This refers to those that crossed over the sea. So the word over, the drasha is in the word over. They crossed over, kiba ovram b'yam, because when they passed over the sea, zachul lebechinas yiru eschulu kanal, they merited the concept of to fear Hashem directly in a state of nullification. V'hine b'neshama gamkein beis bechinos. Now in the soul there's also two concepts. Chelik hamilubish beguf huma alma diskalya, the portion that's enclosed in the body, that's from the revealed world, and the encompassing concept of the soul, that's from the hidden world, and this is the concept of you should lift up the head, to lift them up and to tie them to the soul that's beyond the body. So lifting up in Israel from the revealed to the hidden. That's the counting here that we're talking about in this Pasha, Sisa. Like it's written by the splitting of the sea, that until your nation Havaya passes over, that they're going to have revealed the hidden world into the revealed world. And then they'll be in a state of inclusion into what's above. And the number is going to stick to the idea of one, but not in accounting. Now, in order to elevate the soul that's in the body to the level of the neshama beyond the body, you have to give an atonement for your soul, in order to redeem the soul, the godly soul, from the prison of the body, so that just like someone in a prison, you have to redeem them to get them out of their prison. So to the godly soul that's imprisoned in the body, so to speak, you have to give an atonement for it to go beyond that, to get out of that prison of the body, to be included in the soul above, the mazle benafsho bahamis, and it's enclosed in the body and the animalistic soul, vapidyon tzedakah, and the redemption is through tzedakah, charity. Rabbi Elazar, just like Rabbi Elazar would give a coin to a poor person and then he would daven. So if you want your soul to go upwards, you first have to give tzedakah, a redemption for your soul to be able to go out of its boundaries, like it's brought in the Mamar, and you should be betrothed to me, and so forth. B'tzedek, with tzedek, you're going to, with tzedek, there's a betrothal, there's a certain kind of unity and attachment that you affect by giving tzedakah. Like it's brought in Tanya, in the holy letters, and the one that starts that Yisrael is only redeemed through tzedakah. Ein Sham Barichos, look over there at length. Similarly, the verse states that tzedakah will elevate the nation, in a similar concept of tzedakah elevating. Like it's brought in Torah Or, in the beginning of Parshas Bereshis, the concept of the land is my footstool. That the Torah is from above, and that tzedakah is from below, lifts up, that it lifts up the legs. It's a concept of elevation. And further, you have the main reason that in something that's counted you don't have a blessing rest. That there you have this concept of the bad eye. That's the concept of the accusing angel. Like it's brought in Me'ore Or, Sof Sifir Daled, V'ayin B'rabos Be'ester al Pasuk V'yar Haman Chulu, and look in Midrash Rabbah, Esther, on something that Haman saw, that someone saw something with a Ra'ayin, with a bad eye. Vayiru B'nei Ha'elokim Espinosa Adam Chulu, and similarly, you have the concept of the bad eye, the Ayin Hara, by the Bnei Elokim, by the Malachim, and in Bereshis, Espinosa Adam Chulu, they saw the sons of man, the daughters of man, something that's counted and recognized. So there you have Hayinika, V'yar Cham Avikanan Chulu, and also Cham, the father of Canaan, saw as Ervas Aviv. So it's a concept of seeing that when something is revealed, something that's supposed to be hidden is revealed. So that gives a Yinika. On this, the Pasuk says that their eyes should be darkened from seeing, because the sight of their eyes brings them down to Gehenna and so forth, that there's this Yinika to clipper from seeing. And the source of this vision, this is this bad eye that we're talking about. So it has a kriyah, and that's the concept of the halachic category of damage of sight, that your property can be damaged by someone who can see into it. And the Ramaz explains that there's two qualities that the eyes have. The first is the vision and the recognition that the thing that you see is pictured within the apple of the eye, of the one who sees and is gazing. The second concept is this idea that the one who's seeing sends out sparks of light that have the essence, a true essence in them in this vision. Like the Arizal brings the concept of the bird called the basayana that impregnates its mate through gazing and a loving gaze. So it's not just a vision, but it's a true hashpah, giving over of its essence. So you have a concept of that the eye takes in as well as gives out. So you have the eye is affected and also affects as well. So when you have a concept of something seeing, it can have a strong effect. And look at this concept of the bad eye in the Zohar Kadosh and Achrei, B'Medrash Shmuel, Perek Avos, and in the Medrash Shmuel, Perishon Pirkei Avos, B'Mishnah, Ayin Tova, V'Ruach Nemucha, V'Nefesh Shefela, that a good eye and a low spirit, meaning a humble spirit, and a low soul, Mitalmidav Shel Avraham Avinu, that's from the students of Avraham, Perishki Ayin Tova, Hu Nimshach Mebechinas V'Ahavta L'Recha Kamocha, because a good eye comes from loving your fellow man like yourself. And the bad eye is the opposite of this. So loving your fellow Jew, which is a good eye. So that's the general concept of the Torah. The general concept of the Torah. Vidach perushahu, and everything else is just explanation. So the good eye is so important to look at someone in a good eye, because it refers to also loving your fellow, that you should look at your fellow in a loving way, because with this you affect a unity between you and them, and affect them in a good way. And therefore it's brought in the second chapter of Avos. What is the path? Yeshara, what's the straight path? Shidabik Baha Adam, that a person should cleave to. Rabbi Eliezer says, Ayin Tov Hulu, a good eye. V'chein Rabbi Yeshua Amar, so Rabbi Yeshua says, Ayin Harav Yetzer Hara Hulu, that a bad eye and the evil inclination, as ha'adamin ha'olam, they take the person out of this world. So the best way to conduct yourself is the good eye, and the bad eye is exactly the opposite. It negates your purpose in creation and takes you out of this world. And this is what's brought in the Gemara in the 9th chapter of Baba Metzia. So that on the verse that Hashem is going to rid you of all sicknesses, Amarav zu ein chulu. That Rav says this just refers to the eye. Tzadik tes ba'ain harachulu. Something about how but now with a bad eye. That we can say that this refers to the accusing of the accusing angel. It's called the bad eye. So if you get rid of the bad eye of the accusing angel, so Hashem, that will take away all sickness. And similarly, you have this concept how Bilam is called. It says the Mishnah about him that he had a bad eye, Ain Ra, and so forth. We can say that the eye, the vision, this corresponds with the concept of nevuah. Like it says that alone the eye of Yaakov, the nevuah to Yaakov, as is brought in Medrash Rabbah, now our sages said that a Navi did not get up in Israel like Moshe did. Like Moshe, so if Parsha Yudal B'Yisrael Kama, V'Umos Kama, Manu Zebilam, that Yisrael did not get up, but and the nations did get up. And who is that? That was Bilam, that he said about him, Ra Ayin, that he also had this concept of Ayin, of the vision of Nevuah, but it was Ra, it was bad. Ayin, that's why it's called the eye, Hamora al Hanavi. That refers to the Navi. Va'im calls that Kivin Shahaya Rasha, but since he was a wicked person, Va'af al Pishira Mashara, and even though he saw what he did, that he had this vision, Lo Nisbatel, he did not become nullified from it, Mehayesh, Va'ataiva Shalo, from his own existence and his desires. Halkin Nikra Ayin Harachulu. That's why it's called a bad eye, that his eye that his eye was for bad things. Hine isa bezara de Yosef, Jilo shaltu behu ein abisha. That says concerning the children of Yosef that the bad eye did not rule over them. Shenim shlula dagim shibiam, that they were compared to fish of the sea. Now here we have already the concept of alma diskasya. So again, we're saying that when you have the nika that you don't want to count, it's because it's an alma diskalya. When you have Bnei Yisrael, you have to have alma diskasya revealed into alma diskalya. Uperashatam bezor chelik gimel, and so the reason for this that Tzemach Tzedek explains is from Zohar Chelik Gimel. Naso Dav Kuf Lamed Amud Aleph Mipnei Shezach Lish Dagcha Be'ena Ilah the Atika Kadisha, because he merited to the gazing of the eye, of the supernal eye, the Atika Kadisha, of the level of Atik, Eina Pekicha Delonaim Chulu, which is the supernal eye of Hashem that does not sleep. That Hashem is always watching. This concept of the eye, from above, Hashkacha. V'zeu ben poras ali ayin. And this is the concept of that Yosef is greatened, blessed, nisbarich, above the eye, Hamir ba'alma diskasya, upon the eye that's shining into the hidden world, Bechinas Yam, which is the sea, Ubi Bechinas Yosef, Hayamir Bechinas Zu, that from Yosef shine this concept of Alma Diskasya, something hidden from the eye, that's where the blessing is. Gamba Alma Diskalya, that by Yosef it also shined into the revealed world. That's why also in this world the Ayin Hara could not rule over them, because as they were in a state in Alma Diskalya, they had a revelation of Alma Diskasya. In Alma Diskasya, it's like the covered, and you can't have this Ra'ain. And that's the concept of the eyes of Hashem are unto the tzaddikim. This Hashkacha from above, from Alma Diskasya. This effect from the eyes of the Kamashkas of Softiba Hamas Chilkis Yishma Bekal, like it's brought in the Mamar that you should listen to Hashem's voice, Beperish Asos Yashar B'nei Hashem, when it says you should do the straightforward thing in the eyes of Hashem. And again, you have a concept of eyes of Hashem. V'kiv in Shemeir Olav Einei Hashem Bebeis Segulos Shekos V'Ramaz Chulu. And once you have the shining of the eyes of Hashem in these two ways, Shekos V'Ramaz Chulu, both that it's this vision within your eye, and these sparks that come from the eye to affect. So therefore, the vision of the bad eye can't affect you at all. At once you have both your hashpa from above to below, and you're from below to above, in this concept of the eye in a positive way. So the bad eye can't affect you, because this light blinds its eyes. From a how much more so from the light of the sun, that it darkens the vision. That just like the light of the sun, you can't look directly into the sun. How much more so the light from Hashem will darken the concepts that you don't want them to see. So you don't want them to look at you. So the Ra'ain can affect by looking at something. When you have the negative looking, it can affect someone badly. But if you blind those eyes that are looking negatively, so they can't affect you. So the light from the eyes of the good, it can blind the light from the bad eyes, or something like that. Now Yosef merited this to tzedakah, because he was giving charity to people to all of Mitzrayim and so forth. And the rights of Yosef is the mashbir and so forth. And there's also the concept of that you should give an atonement for your soul, that when you give